Are you a Muslim, my dear friend? Please come over here. Any sensible Muslim who is able to defend your Quran. Can you defend your Quran, sir? Can you please come over?
Nobody.
Yeah, no one can defend. He agrees. Why is there plenty of Muslims who are here, but none can come here?
You can get the money and then you get the things that you need from.
All right. You see how people have become Muslims? Can you see? Pay money. That's how people have become Muslims. Yeah, sure.
Your cow.
No. My cow is already here. Quran, Surah 2, Al-Bukhari. The cow is already found. It's here. All right. The fourth reason as to why anyone sensible should not follow the Quran. Fourth reason.
What's the reason?
It is not just the fact that the hadiths are self-contradictory.
Okay.
It is also the fact that the hadiths contradict known earlier artifacts. I'll give you an example. The hadiths. Are you a Muslim, sir? Please come over here. Please come here. Please come here. You're not qualified? Is there any Muslim who considers yourself to be qualified? Anyone? So, the challenge that I have for you, my dear friends, is this.
What's the challenge?
The challenge is Jesus from Bethlehem.
The hadiths tell us
Jesus is
that
Palestinian.
Uthman standardized the Quran.
You are killing the Christians.
This joker here, or any other jokers, can you provide the Uthmanic manuscript today? Are you Muslim, sir?
Christian
Hello, sir. Are you Muslim, sir? Please come over here. Please come here. Please come.
The employer of this man.
Hello, sir.
This
Do you
man
know?
is a mercenary
Do you know where
working
the
for the
Uthmanic
Zionists
Mus'haf
in
is
here
today?
who attack Christianity first.
Okay,
They are
listen to this
dividing
comedy show.
Christians. They are not Christian.
Listen to this
They
comedy
don't
show.
love Christians. Jesus of Bethlehem. the
Oh,
man
this is
who
comedy
looks
show.
like
Comedy
me,
show.
And his people.
I am talking about
They
serious
are
things.
the most oppressed people.
He is here to say.
Yes.
He is here to say
Why don't you speak about
that he is
Krishna?
afraid because the
What
Jews
about
wake
Shiva?
up every morning.
Why don't you speak about Diwali and Krishna?
Is there any Muslim here who can tell me where the Uthmanic Mus'hafs are? Anyone?
Come, we're gonna go have lunch. Yeah, we're gonna have a nice cow meat. Yeah, you wanna eat this?
What's your name, sir?
My name?
Burger
I
King.
have no name.
Burger King.
Okay. Now, you, sir. You know about Uthman?
McDonald's.
You're not a Muslim.
Another burger, man.
You're not a Muslim? How about you, sir? Are you a Muslim? Okay.
I'm a Muslim.
Do you know?
I am a Muslim.
Well, you look confused. You must be a Muslim. So, now let me...
I'm proud to be a Muslim.
It's
I will tell
all...
you a story.
It's all on
In
camera.
1958,
The level of nonsense you advance. So, question.
What's the question?
Is there any Muslim here today at the park who knows where the Uthmanic Mus'hafs are?
The Uthmanic Mus'haf.
Prophet
That's right.
Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam,
La. Where are the Uthmanic manuscripts?
he established
Any answer?
equality
Uncle, you know
among
he's
mankind.
got the answer.
When
Yes.
he called
Listen,
He's got the answer.
Take this one, take it, yes, take it. Listen.
Prophet Muhammad, when he built the first mosque,
Yeah, you need to
In
you need to
Islam,
apply for this. Listen,
there were big
the
men,
Muslims coming now.
tribals,
Listen to
and leaders.
Listen.
But he chose that black man. Bilal
All right.
Rabah,
Bilal.
first call of Adhan.
Brother.
So Prophet Muhammad is the guy.
Of equality
No, keep
and
it,
equal opportunities.
Prophet Muhammad is the guy who implemented.
Don't speak about Prophet Muhammad.
Stay away from me. Stay away. If you are a maniac, stay away.
Speak about Muhammad.
Take your drugs daily. Stay away. Stay away. Thank you.
Speak about Muhammad.
Stay away.
Speak about Muhammad.
Stay
Talk about
away.
Muhammad. Do it.
Stay away.
Do it.
Stay
I will not stay away. I will eat.
All right. So, if Muhammad,
around here
excuse
now.
me,
Speak about Muhammad, wrong. Do it.
capture his face properly on camera, because we want people like him not to show up at the park. Yeah, a silly fool. Yes, please capture him. Yeah, that's it. That's the quality you get. Ask a question, run away. That's the quality. Now, the gentleman says, okay, we won't. Let's stick to the point at hand. If Sahih al-Bukhari is true, where are the Uthman Mushafs? Are you Muslims, sir?
You are playing
No.
tactic.
Okay.
Let me speak.
If Sahih al-Bukhari is true historically, hello, sir. Are you Muslim, sir?
Your
What's
supervisor. This guy is a.
Why is there no Muslim who would like to defend? Hello, you, sir. If Sahih al-Bukhari is right, what happened to your Uthmanic Musafs?
These guys are
No
all
answer.
liars. They preach hatred.
There are at least 6 reasons as to why
Jesus said,
the entire
love
idea
one another.
of Sahih al-Bukhari and
Jesus
Uthman
said,
are cock and bull stories.
Christian people, they preach love.
Hey, you're very energetic behind the camera. Why don't you come here?
Why do
You are
preach
very
hatred?
energetic behind the cameras. Why
to
don't you
me.
come here?
Talk to
Are
me.
you scared?
Speak to me. He's not
Okay,
scared of
question.
me.
Where
Respect
are
to
your
me is not
Uthmanic
coming.
Musafs today?
Say again.
Where are your Uthmanic Musafs today?
You said your. Y-O-U-R. What do you mean by your?
There we go.
Yeah.
Uthmanic Musafs, where are they
What
today?
is Ottomanic Mushak?
Exactly. He doesn't even
Explain
know.
to me.
He doesn't even know.
Maybe.
Sahih al-Bukhari tells you that Uthman
What is
The third Caliph
Explain that to me.
put
What's
together the
Al-Bukhari?
standard version of the Quran in your heart, in every Muslim's heart. Please come over here. Let's deal with that. Let me try and see how the Quran is in every Muslim's heart. Please come here. No, please come here. Because I read Sahih al-Bukhari.
He's preaching hatred. He is not Christian. Because Jesus said, love one another. When this man comes here, he attacks the Pope. They hate Catholic people. They don't accept Orthodox.
He's a bit
They
confused. hate
Ignore him.
Palestinians. A bit confused. Just a little bit. He
When
forgot his
Jesus
pills
was born in
this
Bethlehem.
morning. Now, you, sir.
Go and worship your cow, my friend.
All
and
Muslims-
leave Jesus to the Palestinians.
All Muslims know the Quran by heart. Is that what you think, sir? Is that what you think? Sahih al-Bukhari thinks otherwise. Because Sahih al-Bukhari 5037 tells you, are you Muslim, sir? Are you Muslim, sir? Please come over here. Do you think Muslims have memorized the Quran right throughout history? You, sir.
If you are
Please don't turn around. Please come here.
You should teach people about the love of Jesus.
Do you think? Do you think?
Love one
Excuse me,
another.
sir.
That's Christianity.
Everyone has run away. Everyone are scared.
Because you're not saying
Are you scared also? Are you scared also? No. Are you scared also?
scared of what?
Is that what's happening right now?
scared, man?
There we go. There is no Muslim who would like to answer the questions I'm asking.
scared of
So, my
you.
dear friends, at least, please, sir, you come over here.
Why don't you speak logic?
At least four important reasons.
Why don't you speak logic?
At least 4 reasons as to why anyone sensible should leave behind the Quran.
Come here.
Reason number 1.
Jesus said,
Most.
one another.
Hey.
If you're Christian, you should preach about
Why do you maintain a distance there? Why don't you come here? Are you afraid?
But this guy, he's attacking on one side.
4 reasons.
Catholic people.
Reason number
They don't
1.
like Santa Maria the saint.
The
He
main,
attacked the Pope.
most of
And they
what,
attacked the Christian of Palestine. So what Christian are you, my friend? Jesus said, love one another, unite, help. That's what Jesus is about.
when is your show getting over? When is your show getting over?
That's the meaning.
So, 4 reasons as to why anyone sensible. What's that?
3,000 years
Is he Muslim?
He is Muslim. Now, you are Muslims?
Jesus said,
Are you Muslims?
that's one
So,
God.
question.
That's a choice.
I've given 4 reasons so far as to why anyone sensible should not be following the Quran. 4 reasons. Reason number 1. Most of what you know about the history of this book comes 200 odd years later.
Okay, these 200 years, are you saying that, number 1, no one was there to preserve it? You're saying,
No one knows what?
Are you saying that no one was there to preserve it? You do realize there's a stochastic process for preservation.
Control.
Do you know how preservation works? You know when you preserve, these texts.
I'm not so far talking about preservation.
Listen. 200 years later, yeah. Surely, if we say it's going to be preserved across all of time.
I'm not talking about-
listen. 200 years. What happened? It's floating
Are you
space,
trying to
yeah?
answer my question?
No. You told me 200 years later. All the
Are you
history,
trying to answer my
all the history
question?
of this book came 200 years later, right? According to you.
Are you trying to answer my
I'm
question?
not answering no question. I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
200 years later, that's when the history of the book started, right?
That's when
That's
the
when-
history that you have access to of this book, most of the history of this book comes from that time.
So what happened in those 200 years?
Exactly. What happened?
Okay.
What happened? Muslims couldn't care less. That's what happened.
Right. Who is
So-
Al-Bukhari? He started 200 years after, right?
Yeah.
Where did he get all this hadith?
Exactly. Where could he have gotten it from?
So listen. So what was the process that when you compiled Sahih al-Bukhari, when you compiled all of his books, where did he get these from? Do you say he just randomly made them up, or did he listen, or did he what? Spend years and years in people's houses? You know how
Which
generations
houses?
work?
Which houses?
Which houses? You know there are isnad. You know isnad are links. From starting from the Prophet.
Now, I'm asking you a simple question.
I'm asking you.
Which houses did did Al-Bukhari go to? Which
Which
houses?
houses? So, you mean which houses?
Well, you're telling
You know
me.
what isnad are? Answer first.
No.
Listen, bro,
You're ranting on right
I'm
now.
not ranting, I'm
I'm
asking you
asking
a
a simple question.
I'm
You
asking
suggested just a minute ago. He suggested just a minute ago that Sahih al-Bukhari went to all sorts of different houses. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
So I'm
Which
asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you. Which houses did Al-Bukhari go to? It's a simple question.
And then I'm
Please,
asking
do
you, what is isnad?
No. Give me
What
an
is-
answer.
I'm
Do you have
asking
an
you
answer?
first, what is isnad?
Do you have an answer?
I can show you an answer. What is isnad?
Sahih,
first?
yeah, but Al-Bukhari. Show me an answer.
I'll show you an answer.
Al-Bukhari, which houses did he go to? Please.
What is isnad? As
No,
I'm
no,
looking-
please.
as I'm bringing
Chain
up-
of narration will
Listen,
come
listen,
to later.
Listen. Yo, man,
Al-Bukhari.
Listen, bro. Listen.
No, please take your hand.
Listen.
Please give me an
Tell me
answer.
what isnad is.
Please give me an
Tell me
answer.
what isnad is, bro.
Chain of narration. Now come to Al-Bukhari.
These chains of narration.
Tell me. No.
These chains of narration.
Excuse me, my dear friend. You're making multiple points already.
I am making
I'm
multiple
asking you how you make your points. And so I'm asking you if you think
If you know what
if
chain
you
of narrators is, listen.
okay, stick to one point. Which point do you want to stick to?
It's all
Houses
one point.
or
It's all
chain?
encompassed in one point.
Okay, make your point. I'll give you 1 minute. Make your point, but then face my scrutiny after that. Please make your point. Make my point. Make your point.
You go.
No,
You
you
tell
make
me,
it.
I don't know, we don't know as Muslims, Al-Bukhari, which house he stayed at, where did he get these
Good.
200, yes, that's your point, right?
Good. So, can I make my point, or did you want to make your point?
Go.
Good. What I'm going to tell you is this. You as Muslims are told certain things about what Al-Bukhari did. That's what you're told. But unfortunately, as much as you would like to take it seriously, the point simply is there is no way where you can verify what exactly Bukhari did. That's a simple fact. And that is where, to make that point clear to the young man here, I'm asking him, which houses did he go to? And of course he wouldn't know. There is no Muslim who would know. No Muslim can provide any evidence to suggest where Al-Bukhari went to before he wrote down his book. For all that we know, he could have been stuck in one room and written all nonsense down. and then come out saying, I traveled around the world for 12 years and this is what I have. He could have said that. What is there to tell us that he did not lie? He was actually traveling everywhere, and that is my point to you. How do you, please explain to me.
Who are the authors of the New Testament? You surely you know that, right?
No.
Who are the authors of the New Testament? You said that Bukhari, he stayed in one room, right? He could have been
What's
lying.
your name?
No,
What's your name?
My name is John.
Okay, your name is John.
Right.
What's his name?
John, yeah.
Okay, let's say John. John, I'm asking you for the veracity of your book, of your material.
Yes.
You are running away to the Bible.
Not running away
To the Bible. I'm going to say to you that I am willing to have a conversation about the Bible. I'm willing to. But before that, defend this particular view about Islam. Please do. Just by running away, you don't help Islam.
I'm not running away.
Good.
It's all
So
encompassed in
let's
one
talk
point.
about Sahih Al-Bukhari.
It's all encompassed in one point.
Okay, then I'll give you 2 minutes. Make your point. Sahih Al-Bukhari. How can? Yeah, let me finish my question and then please go on. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay. Explain to me how anyone today can understand in a verifiable manner what Sahih Al-Bukhari really did. Please go on. John.
You're asking me to start. Can I ask you a question in response to that? How do you know
You
as a
can.
Christian? Okay, how do you know as a Christian
I have-
who the authors of the New Testament are? How do you know that there was absolutely no ambiguity in the authors? There's no ambiguity. He wrote this. He wrote that. These scriptures. This guy wrote this, isn't it? How do you know that this was all preserved? This all came.
Let me know when you're
preserved,
done.
right?
Let me know when you're
I'm
done.
not going.
Is that it?
Explain that to me. I'm
Listen to
asking
me.
you.
Earlier he said he was somehow going to connect it. There's a way to connect.
He said he was connected. Listen.
He hasn't
That's what
connected
he
to
said.
Sahih Al-Bukhari.
I'm asking you a question.
No. He hasn't made any comment about Sahih Al-Bukhari. All that he has said is, please answer some things about Christianity,
Go on.
which I can do, but
on.
I would like to stay focused at the moment. Is there
This is a
any
very-
way?
listen, it's a very nuanced
Is there
point.
any way to defend the historicity of Al-Bukhari's mission and work? Any way to defend the historicity of what he did?
It's a very
You can
nuanced
search,
point.
Google search if you want.
Listen, it's a very
Is
nuanced
there any way to establish that Al-Bukhari's work is reliable?
Who are the authors of the New Testament?
No. You see,
It's
there's
the
no
same
answer.
point. We're talking about
It's-
historicity of its religious
The
scriptures.
point simply
It's
is-
the same point.
The point
We're talking
simply is,
about
John.
the history of religious scriptures.
No.
How do you know they
The
were
point-
preserved?
the
How do
point-
you know they were preserved?
The point simply is,
We are
you
talking
haven't
about
given me
religious
an
scriptures as
answer.
a whole. Yes, we're talking about. You're talking about Sahih Bukhari. I'm talking. We're talking about scriptures as a whole.
Okay.
We're talking
You
about,
want-
You said
you-
historicity, the veracity, all of that. Okay, I'm asking you, the authors of the New Testament. Surely you know that.
I
Just like we
can
know.
I can get into the Bible. I can get
We're
into the
talking
Bible,
not
no
about the
problem at
Bible
all.
in general, we're
But
talking about
before that,
religious scriptures
are
in
you
general.
willing to see the clear point that as a standalone religion, he is unable to explain the authenticity
giving me-
of the historicity of Al-Bukhari? Can you see that? As a standalone religion, can you see that? Can you see that? He clearly sees that. He is of course not agreeing.
Let him hear him out.
No, I have heard him out. He has nothing more to say.
What
Is
do
there
you have
anything
to
else?
say? Go on.
Countering what he's saying with your same point again.
What
He
do you
keeps
have to
it
say?
on.
I
That
don't-
because it's the same point.
Just
The
listen
point
to
simply is, you can also help us if you want. Are you Muslims? Please join in. So the question I'm asking him simply is
We're
this.
talking about Sahih Bukhari, right?
Yeah. So
I'm asking as religious
no,
scriptures.
once
No, listen to
I
me.
like
Religious scriptures as a whole.
Don't shout at me like that.
You
No,
were shouting at
I'm
me in my face the whole time. What's the difference?
I'm
What
trying
is
to
the
speak-
difference?
I'm
What
trying
is the
to speak
difference?
to him at the
Listen,
moment.
listen.
I'm trying
You're
to speak to
spitting
him
in
at
my
the moment.
face.
So my point simply is, most of what you know about the Quran, you get from most information about the history of the Quran, you get from later sources, namely hadiths. You're aware of the hadiths? What's that?
That's how history works, yeah. People compile it after events have happened.
People what?
People compile things after events have happened. That's how history works.
That's how normally history works. But in the case of Islam, what I am saying is, Sahih al-Bukhari, for example, is the first of the canonical hadith works for Sunni Muslims. Are you a Sunni Muslim? Or a Shia Muslim? Sunni. So, the first of the canonical hadith sources that you have, the first of the hadith sources that is agreed by the Ummah, Islamic Ummah that you have, is from Al-Bukhari.
I would say it's
Sahih, yeah.
Hadith grading.
Hadith what?
Grading. They took, isn't it? They did correctly, but it's hadith grading.
The first hadith source,
Yeah, like
She's talking about like Sahih al-Bukhari, like
the very book. Now, you need, okay. Sahih al-Bukhari is the first canonical hadith source that Sunni Muslims have. You need to know this, very important. But Sahih al-Bukhari was written about 200 odd years after the death of Muhammad. This is a fact. Now the Quran, you would like to claim that the Quran was revealed during the time of Muhammad. So anything about the history concerning this seems to come from a history source which comes about 200 odd years after the events here. This is,
as far as I know, hadith, Bukhari is a hadith grading book, isn't it?
Bukhari is not just a grading book, it also records actual hadiths.
Yes, just as it records its grading.
Like
right?
which one?
You know At-Tabari, you know
Al-Tabari. Al-Tabari came later.
he didn't come later. We're talking about hadith books in general.
I'm talking about timeline. Which one came before?
What is your vendetta?
Which one came before? Good. So this is when you get home, try and see if there is any other canonical hadith source which came before Sahih al-Bukhari. Please check it out for yourself, okay? There aren't any. There is none. He won't help you. Neither can anyone else. This is a fact of history. So the problem I'm saying is, problem number one is, most of what you understand as the historical context for this book comes from a book that comes 200 odd years later. There is more problem to the story. Second problem is this. There is no information that you have access to today as Muslims that suggests to us that Al-Bukhari's work was critically evaluated. Manuscriptal evidence and so on that you can access today tell us clearly, there is no evidence you could provide that Al-Bukhari was widely circulated, critically evaluated.
Do you know how history works?
You see what I'm saying?
Listen,
No, one second.
Let's discuss.
Did you hear my point?
Yeah, you.
There is no way a Muslim today can establish that Al-Bukhari's work was critically established.
Okay.
In other words,
You know how history
one second. In other words, for all that we know, Al-Bukhari's work might have been Harry Potter's work at his time that no one took seriously of at his time, but people later on just took hold of it and then propagated it as if it was serious history. For all that we know.
You could say the same about the Bible.
What's that?
You could say the same.
No, you go on. He's repeating the same points again.
And you can't answer those points.
No,
are
you haven't.
avoiding
You
answering.
haven't.
I know you can answer those
I'm
points.
asking
You're not the one
specifically
who's-
about.
I'm asking you specifically.
Let me ask you a simple question.
How do you, brother? 50.
My challenge is about the.
Sorry, can I speak?
Sure, yeah, go on.
He seems to be under the notion that the hadith books were written in a vacuum. No other history was written next to it. No one knew what other people thought about Al-Bukhari. And yeah, he seems to be operating.
So if you when you say Al-Bukhari was not written in a vacuum, no, that's fine. When you say, because you're mildly spoken, yeah. So I want to pick up your comment also. When you say when you suggest or when you challenge me by saying that I am under the notion that Al-Bukhari was written in a vacuum, I'm assuming what you mean.
Yeah, continue.
Sahih al-Bukhari's work is written in a. I assume that his work was in a vacuum. That's your challenge. So I'm asking you, do you know of previous works that Al-Bukhari depended on, which came before him clearly?
Do you want someone he stayed at the house with?
Do you know of any works that he depended on?
Ali bin
No, sir, not at the top of your head. That's fine.
ومع ذلك فكان علي بن المدينة. You know, you know how to read Arabic?
What is that book? What is the book you're reading now?
I'm not reading a book.
What is the book you're reading now?
I'm not reading a book. Yeah. Come.
So
let's talk
no. What?
I didn't ask.
Have other people asked you to move on?
So good stand over there.
Okay. But we'll catch up later, yeah? Some other time. No, I have work here. So if you want to move on, you can, but I'll need to catch up with you later. That's fine. That's fine. So I just a general word of warning. Also, are you going to help us? Mansoor, are you going to help us? Mansoor, are you going to help us? Mansoor, please let us know which part of the hadith sources you depend on?
I'll speak to you later, don't worry.
Do you depend on
go over there?
Sahih Al-Bukhari 5019, which tells us that the Quran was put together already during the time of the death of Muhammad?
But I don't think he's worthy of having a discussion.
All right. Mansoor, do you believe in Sahih Al-Bukhari 5019 or 4987? Please don't do that. So clearly, even Mansoor doesn't have an answer. Maybe please come here. Let's try and ask him. No. Mansoor, have you got an answer? Was Sahih Al-Bukhari 5019 right? Oh, sorry. Apologies.
I'm in a conversation. I'm not interested in speaking to you.
I thought you came into my conversation.
Yeah, I'm just telling you not to record certain people.
So, in other words, you came into my conversation.
I just told you not to record.
Yeah, in other words, you came into my conversation. So, don't tell me I can't come into your conversation.
Thank you very much.
So, Sahih Al-Bukhari 5019 or 4987.
So see you later. Okay.
5019 4987. Okay. There we go. No answer from Mansoor. Now, if you don't want to be interrupted, don't interrupt other people. What's that, sir?
Stop selling your country and your religion for visa.
Which country are you from? Which country are you from? Ah, nice. Thank you, Sam. That's a marvelous comment. Thank you. All right. Okay. So the problem is, my dear friends, I am launching, I am asking, I am challenging based on 4 specific points. So far, no answer. Hello, sir. I'll come to you in a bit, please. Yeah. How are you doing? Okay.
Good.
Give me 2 minutes, please.
What are you speaking about? Okay.
Give me 2 minutes, please. So, 4 specific challenges. Look at Mansoor advising. Please capture Mansoor advising. Don't stay on camera. That's
14 years old, bro. You have.
that's his advice. Good.
I'm 14 years old.
That's fine. Don't worry. 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 I have no clue about how old you are and so on. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're here at Speaker's Corner. He is even coming and shouting at me and so on. Don't worry. Don't. My dear friend, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. Christians here at the park have a track record of not jeopardizing other people. But it is the Muslims who have a track record of jeopardizing. If at all Mansoor has to advise anyone, he needs to go around advising his Muslim friends. If Mansoor has any information on the stabbers, on the person who stabbed Hatun, please come ahead and give us information, Mansoor. I'm sure you would have some useful information there in your circles. So, 4 specific challenges about the history of the Quran. Challenge number 1. Most of what you know as a history of the Quran comes from sources that come 200 odd years later. It's a bit silly to depend on a book which comes, or books which come 200 odd years later to understand about the Quran. That would be a bit silly. Well, bear in mind, with the biblical record of contemporary sources, we still have tremendous scrutiny. But Islam has survived without question. Point number 1. Challenge number 2. There is no evidence whatsoever to suggest that the hadith sources were widely circulated during the time of their supposed writing. In other words, for all that we know, the hadith sources themselves might have been Harry Potter stories which were written down and stored in some cookie jar somewhere, which later Muslims picked up and began to read as if it's history. That's challenge number 2. Wait a second. Why do I see Muslims always try and hide behind cameras and watch? Why is that, sir? Are you not bold enough to come and address the challenge? They always want to go behind the cameras. Challenge number 3. The hadith sources. Even though you have taken the hadiths from cookie jars, 200 odd years later, the point still is, at least when you started reading them as if they were serious history, you should have known
You're God, you know? You're God. Yeah.
How confused do you think this person
You're
is?
God, you're God. You're God. Why? You are God.
How confused is this person?
Look, you're God.
He thinks a cow is my God. How confused must he be?
Look.
Well, but as a matter of fact, can I please tell you that having preached at the park for 15 plus years, that's typical Islamic joke. That's a very typical Islamic joke. In other words, if you think that gentleman is confused, know for sure that most Muslims on this planet are confused.
At least cows do actually exist.
At least cows actually exist. What's your point, sir? Any greater point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do any other gods exist?
What? Is that funny? Did you crack a joke?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Are you confused?
My dear friend, next time you want to tell us a joke, let us know in advance. We'll at least be friendly and laugh with you as if it was a genuine joke.
But
Are you Muslim, sir?
no.
You're not? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But no, my point is, at least cows do exist. But his God and other gods don't exist. That's my point.
My God, Jesus Christ, is very much alive and thriving. Challenge number 3, my dear Muslim friends who have a habit of watching everything from behind the cameras. Challenge number 3, the Islamic sources themselves, the later sources, the ill-qualified cookie jar sources, they contradict themselves. Exactly. Sahih Al-Bukhari, if you read one page, it tells you that the Quran was put together before Muhammad died. If you turn a few pages and read from another page, it will tell you that the Quran was put together after Muhammad died. Which part is right? Clearly, your cookie jar hasn't done you good. In other words, all the later cookie jar sources that you have are confused, self-contradictory. And so my 4th point, it's not just that the hadith sources contradict themselves, but it is also that the hadith sources contradict known earlier history about Islam.
Who is Al-Bukhari? Who is Al-Bukhari?
Are you Muslim, sir?
I'm Muslim. Bukhari born 200 years after Prophet Muhammad. You
That's true.
If you want to talk about Islam, take from Prophet Muhammad's house, not Al-Bukhari.
That's very good. Please, please help me. Please come here, sir. Wow. Islamic wisdom, string together 2 statements and run away.
No, not run away.
Please come here.
No, you are talking about
Please come here.
You are talking about Bukhari. Bukhari born
Give me
200 years after Prophet Muhammad.
Name
from the beginning.
Please.
From
Okay,
beginning.
that's good. I heard that already. Please come here. Please name, sir, 1 or 2 historical resources that come before the time of Sahih Al-Bukhari that gives you information about Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman. Any sources?
We taught our religion from Ahl al-Bayt. Ahl al-Bayt, who's Ahl al-Bayt? Imam Ali, Fatima al-Zahra and his sons. 12 Imams. We talk
Any
from them.
historical sources?
Like what? Which story you are talking?
Any historical sources before the time of Al-Bukhari?
He just told you.
Which is what?
The Prophet's
didn't listen.
household. Okay, you want to take some.
The Prophet's household. How many of you, if I ask you for a historical resource, would tell me, well, I have got Harry Potter and his household is a witness for Harry Potter. Is there anyone who could say that thing to me? I'm asking, what is that, sir? I am shambles.
You're taking a point and then shouting out to everybody. If
All
you want
right.
to have a conversation, have a conversation.
Good, okay. I'd like to have a
conversation with
Okay,
you.
he doesn't want to have a conversation. You see, all Muslims are here to share words of wisdom and run away.
Okay, I would like to
Muslims, bro.
talk to you.
Don't say all Muslims.
Okay,
Don't
sir.
be disrespectful. Did
Okay.
I disrespect you?
I-
Did I disrespect you?
Do you
Did
have-
I disrespect you?
Do you
Did I
have-
disrespect you?
Are you
Did
a-
I disrespect you?
Well, clearly you are right
I
now.
didn't disrespect you.
Clearly
in the
you
first
are
place.
right now.
Before, did I disrespect you?
Okay.
No, I didn't. So why you said all Muslims is that? Calm
Good.
down, bro.
Thank you.
Calm down.
Thank you.
have a Fanta. Calm down.
I have
Take
fa-
it easy.
thank
Stop
you.
shouting. You're gonna have a heart
Have you
attack.
got an answer
Go and
to my
talk someone
question?
else who gives Don't talk to me.
So any answer to the questions?
Move that from my mouth.
Excuse me, sir. This
Move
is
it
not
from
your
my
mouth.
mouth. Move
Is
it
that your mouth?
Move away from me.
I don't see a
Move
mouth
away
here,
from
sir.
me. Move away from me.
Excuse me, sir.
Move away from me.
You seem to be better than King Charles. Move, stay away from me. How far should I stay away from you? Are you the king of this nation or what?
Stay away from me, you evildoers.
What's that, sir? Behind the camera, man.
Stay away from us, you evildoers. That's what Jesus said.
Stay away from me.
Jesus said.
Okay. Are you now
"Stay
willing to
away
defend
from me,
Islam?
you evildoers."
Do you know about Islam, sir?
Go back to Jesus.
You do know. What's that? Okay, a little bit.
You're looking for someone. She spoke to you. Why you ignore her? Yeah,
Well, she looks like a very young girl, and I don't want to. I don't.
So she does have
no knowledge because
Well, if she is to answer the questions you can't answer, it'll be a shame on you, sir. I have a very high opinion. Wow. You want to know what the Quran thinks about women? Do you want to know what the Quran thinks about women? Anyone wants to know what the Quran thinks about women? Would you like to know, sir? Have you heard about anything called muta marriages? Anyone? Muta marriage? Do you like muta marriage? Oh, you don't understand. All right, to you, sir.